right, morning, you're right. I hope you're being productive and staying well at home. Just wanted to talk you through some of the assessment task and what's ahead and what's involved. I'm getting a lot of questions, and hopefully some of this video I'll be able to cover that. So due to the nature of what's happening at the moment, we have had to change the assessment task. You'll get an updated, amended version by Monday. We just need to finalise a few things within that, but all the content you'll find here on student tasks. So please get familiar with student tasks. It's constantly being updated and reminders being put in there and steps and processes. So yeah, please do that. In terms of asking your teachers questions, I know for my classes I've said to put it as a post to the day's classroom post in the stream. That way that if you have a question that all the boys might want to know, you'll be able to help each other out there as well. So we should be at the stage where, yes, we've done our two study drawings. Well and truly, we've done our two study drawings looking at Roy Lichtenstein and these artworks that you see below. Okay, from there, anything that's grey, it's coming, so don't worry about doing that just yet. Your teacher will be setting this informal written task over the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that. And let's get to the making, so the formal assessment. If you got to start Poscas in class, you're very lucky. We realise that Poscas aren't something that you have readily at home, so we're accepting colour pencils, and no, you won't lose marks. Okay, so these are going to be the three parts of this part of the process, okay, in terms of us doing our Posca, a lino design, and then printmaking. What also will be included within the formal task due in week 5 of next term will be a Photoshop task, but don't worry about that yet. Just keep updated with your teacher, updated with the classroom, and follow things along that. You don't need to work ahead, just keep following the instructions of your teacher. So you're going to create a series of designs inspired by pop art. You will have started your Posca / coloured pencil drawing inspired by Roy Lichtenstein. Like I said, it can be coloured pencil at this stage with black outlines. It is from there we're going to convert it to a black and white lino design. I'm going to help that make sense in a moment, so just wait there. And this is going to be adapted from your colour pencil drawing. After that, we're going to give you a lino. It's a tile like leather in which you carve out. Now, the carving and the printing will not be done until after week 5 of next term because of the practical nature of that, and we can't have tools. But what's important to know is sort of to understand the lino carving and printing process so we can really use this to adapt and create our design here in stage 2 for a black and white lino design. Okay, if we keep scrolling down, we should have talked about consumer products of 2020 in which your design will be based on, whether you chose a Nike shoe, a celebrity, a Coca-Cola, Pop-Tarts, anything like that. Okay, some inspiration there. You should have found some inspiration on the internet and done this task here on slide 29. You should have done some initial designs that are inspired by Roy Lichtenstein, but also using your consumer product of 2020. And there's some examples there that you can look at and use. That should be well and truly done. Okay, I'll just skip down to this. This might be quite helpful. So this here is Mrs. example of some initial designs turned into a final design in line and then turned into the coloured drawing with the Posca or the coloured pencil. So that is what you're producing there in stage 1. That's the first step. So Posca drawing inspired by Lichtenstein. Up here you'll find all the instructions. I'm not going to read every single part of it, but Posca or coloured pencils. Now you're using your consumer product, similar style to Roy Lichtenstein. So when we look at it, we should say, hey, that looks like Roy Lichtenstein. It uses the same dots and patterns and style. It's very important with this design. I know Miss hasn't done that, but we were using only blue, red, yellow, black, white, skin colour and grey. This was trying to replicate the colours that Roy Lichtenstein used in his work. As you can see, we can see the primary colours, skin colour, black and white. So please stick to those colours so we can really channel Roy Lichtenstein in our work. Be drawn neatly and with attention to detail. Now this is part of the formal assessment now. It will go towards your mark and your grade on your report. Your teacher will have maybe created a progress post for you to be posting how you're going, and then completed it by week 11, in which we will give you some feedback to work on before it's formally due in week 5 of next term. So 15 by 15, all the instructions are there. So that's stage 1, the Posca drawing. I put in some frequently asked questions here because I keep getting the same questions and boys not reading. So what if I don't have Poscas at home? What if I didn't get my good piece of paper? What if I left my design at school? If you've got any personal questions, you can ask your teacher that. Okay, going on to stage 2. We need to create a lino design. Now I'm going to show you the process of lino printing now using this document. Now this link you'll find later in student tasks. So this here is a lino print. We carve out of a lino tile or leather and we print with some ink and we place it over onto a piece of paper. I'm going to show you that process now. You can read back through this. So this is creating the design on a piece of paper, which is what your next step is. You will then transfer this design to your lino tile, which again, we don't start until week 5 of next term. Okay, so that there is the lino tile. So what they've done is they've transferred with tracing paper onto the lino tile. And from there, you can see that. And from there, we're going to start carving. So you can see we're going to be giving you some lino tools, which are quite sharp, and we'll go over the safety and all of that later on, but again, not until week 5 next term. And we're going to start carving. Now, everywhere that you carve out, that this person's starting to carve, will actually be white. And hopefully this makes more sense soon. So everything that's white is carved out. So this person here has a lot of work to do because they've got a lot of white left on their design and needs to be carved out. So I'll keep scrolling. You can see they've kept carving. Now getting those lines there are actually quite hard to keep. That's quite small. Now I've said in student tasks, don't have any line thinner than say 2 to 3 millimeters. Otherwise, it's too thin, you're not going to be able to carve it, and it's going to be too detailed. So you've really got to think about that with your design and also the spacing. So some of you may need to simplify your Posca drawing and think about where we're heading with this into the lino design. So you can see still carving out all the white areas. Okay, from there, and we'll do this in class, you're going to be rolling ink. So you're going to be rolling ink onto your design. You can see everywhere that's black here has had ink rolled on it with this roller or brayer. Then so we print, we put a piece of paper over where the ink's been rolled on, we press down, we pull up, and then we have a print. So you've used this lino tile, rolled ink on it, turned it over onto a piece of paper, the piece of paper over onto it, and it creates a print. So that's lino printing in a nutshell. I'm going to quickly show you a video that Miss Weeby has put together about the carving process because it's not easy. Any boys that have got some lovely Liechtenstein dots on your work, I would say we need to remove these. Dots and little circles are very hard, as are even larger circles. So some of your dots and your larger circles, you'll want to maybe simplify to something more angular, something more straight edge in your design, thinking about carving. These ones in here are okay, but I wouldn't leave the little tiny dots from the Roy Lichtenstein style. Here we go. Okay, so guys, I hope that gives you a little bit of an understanding of what's involved in the process. If you scroll down in student tasks, scroll down into here, you can have a look at the process of our lino printing and the tools that are involved that we will do past week 5 of next term. Okay, so back up to what we're asking you to do. You're turning your Posca coloured design into a black and white design because that's what we're going to be doing and that's how we're going to be printing. So you can have a little read through this. This talks about what you need to do and the requirements of this task. Okay, we need to think about effectively adapting it to black and white. So you'll be submitting at first something that looks like this, okay, for your teacher to provide you feedback. Here are some examples of some lino designs. Most are inspired by pop art and contemporary things. So you can see these have been printed, they've been carved out. White, in this case, if you have a look here, white in this case is blue because it's printed on blue paper. It's printed on blue paper, but using black ink. So everything here that is blue would have been carved out. I'll show you some more. You've got access to these. So here are some more lino designs. So if we look at this face, everything that was white would have been carved out. Everything that is black would have not been touched, would have not been touched. So you can see some more designs here and what's possible with lino. That process I just went through, you can access through this link. So have a little look at the design process of what's happening and where we're headed. Some important things you'll find on this slide here. I've put in the videos of lino printing. I've said there's some inspiration above. Everything in your design that we white will need to be carved out, as I keep saying. You can use tracing paper for this. So when you do want to convert it from your Posca drawing to black and white, and you feel like you can't draw it again, grab some baking paper out of the kitchen drawer and you can use this to trace. Remember, there should be a black and white version of your Posca work. So if you did Nike shoe for your Posca work, you shouldn't go and do Michael Jordan for your black and white lino. It has to be the same thing. So it's an adaptation of your Posca design. No lines should be thinner than 2 to 3 millimeters. This is also the case for spacing. Be sure to leave about 3 millimeters of space between lines. Otherwise, it won't work. Do not include dots or small circles. As I said, these will be too hard. Convert these to straight edges or stripes. So you can be converting, thinking about how could I best convert my Posca drawing into what I need to do for a lino. And that's when you can think about what you can achieve with a lino. Lastly, you'll be submitting an informal assessment to be marked by your teacher to provide feedback and also go to an aspect of your report. So your informal assessment task involves you submitting a line drawing of your lino drawing. So you're not going to be blocking in any black yet. You're not going to be blocking in any black yet. See right for an example. So once you get up to this stage here, as you see on the right, you're going to submit that. So that is your lino design without showing what is black and what is white. So your teacher can provide you feedback, will give you a mark that will go towards your report, and then you can work out, okay, what do I need to change? What do I need to rub out? What can I add before I go and block in with black and white using a black pencil? Okay, so it will allow you to get that feedback. So you'll hand that in via Google Classroom. And then when this is completely finished, as in blacked in black and white, so you can see a finished lino design that would look something like these, but as a drawing, you'll submit that in week 5, next term, okay, as normal for your formal assessment. Guys, I hope that has helped. Everything's here on student tasks. Go back and have a read through what I just went through, and hopefully it will make some more sense before you go and ask your teacher. You will be getting your amended assessment tasks early next week sometime. We just need to work on the extension task at the moment. So boys, I hope that helped. Good luck, and just keep an eye on Classroom. Your teachers will be setting assignments and feedback check-ins where you'll need to submit photos of your work. Good luck, boys, and stay well.